The Boston Celtics have once again claimed the NBA championship title. And surprisingly, this team might be even more impressive than you realize. While many discussions focus on the role of injury luck in Boston's journey to the finals or how the Mavericks were their easiest matchup, it's important to highlight just how exceptional this team is and how they've managed to assemble a historically great roster in an era where building such a dominant team is incredibly challenging. A key indicator of a true championship contender is having both a top 10 offense and a top 10 defense. Over the past 20 years, most champions have met this criterion. The Celtics not only met it but excelled, ranking first in offense and second in defense. They also posted an impressive 11.7 net rating during the regular season, which was more than 4 points higher than the second-best team, the OKC Thunder. This Boston squad has been exceptional all season, and it's not surprising that no other team came close to their level. While many hoped for a more competitive championship series, the Celtics' dominance shouldn't be shocking. Their season-long performance was stellar, and unfortunately for the Mavericks, they faced a tough challenge that wasn't the best matchup. There are other Western Conference teams that might have fared better against the Celtics, but this doesn't diminish Boston's greatness. Despite discussions labeling them a super team, it's important to note that this group wasn't just assembled by collecting as many stars as possible. Over the past decade, Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum have been the cornerstone of this franchise, establishing themselves as the mainstays of the team. While Boston has always been one of the NBA's most proactive teams in bolstering their roster through trades, they typically targeted solid contributors like Al Horford and Derek White rather than chasing the biggest stars. Even their significant moves last offseason involved players with somewhat tarnished reputations: Jrue Holiday and Kristaps Porzingis. Holiday, in particular, was coming off a disappointing first-round exit with the Milwaukee Bucks, where he endured one of the worst shooting series of his career against the 8th-seeded Miami Heat. Despite the initial mixed reactions, acquiring Holiday was undoubtedly an upgrade for the Celtics, bringing exceptional defense and another capable ball handler to facilitate the offense. Could Jrue Holiday deliver clutch shots in the postseason without falling into the occasional tunnel vision he displayed at crucial moments with Milwaukee? The biggest difference for Jrue now, compared to his time with the Bucks, is that in Boston, he's perhaps the fourth or fifth option on any given night. Playing alongside stars like Tatum, Brown, Porzingis, and Derek White in the starting lineup means Boston doesn't need him to be a primary scorer. Instead, they rely on him to be a lockdown perimeter defender and a key facilitator in their offense, roles he executed brilliantly. Jrue's contribution went beyond defense. His playmaking in the pick and roll as the roll man was a standout element of Boston's offense during the playoffs. Additionally, his efficiency from the perimeter saw a significant boost. Historically, Jrue's three-point shooting in the playoffs has been a modest 34.4%. However, in the 2024 playoffs, he elevated his game, shooting an impressive 40.5% from beyond the arc. In this year's playoffs, he achieved a career-high true shooting percentage of 62.3%. Sure, the Celtics parted ways with Marcus Smart to acquire Jrue Holiday, but it's evident that whatever they sacrificed was more than compensated for by Holiday's contributions on both ends of the court. Although Holiday isn't the team's primary scoring threat, he still excels with the ball in his hands. While with Milwaukee, defenses primarily focused on Giannis, Middleton, and Holiday. However, in Boston, Holiday benefits from the attention defenses must give to Tatum, Brown, White, and Porzingis, allowing him more freedom and space to operate. Even in late shot clock scenarios, Holiday confidently steps up as a scorer, taking advantage of the spread-out defense. Let's switch gears and talk about Kristaps Porzingis, as his impact on Boston's success is truly fascinating. I was among those who believed Porzingis had become severely underrated last season. A quick look at his stats reveals that he remained a highly productive player, despite playing for a struggling team before joining Boston. He averaged 23.2 points, 8.4 rebounds, 2.7 assists, and 1.9 blocks per game, while shooting 38.5% from three-point range. He was also one of the top post-up big men in the NBA. Notably, During his final season in Washington, he played 65 games, marking his healthiest season since 2017. The main criticism of the trade for Porzingis centered on his history of injuries, which is understandable. However, despite dealing with injuries throughout the postseason and regular season, his performance remained impactful. When discussing whether the current Celtics team qualifies as a super team, it's important to consider the initial skepticism surrounding its formation. Many were ready to write off Drew Holiday after Milwaukee's disappointing playoff exit, and Porzingis was seen as fragile. Yet, despite Porzingis playing in only 7 of Boston's 19 playoff games this run, and aside from Drew Holiday, this Boston squad is largely the same team we've been watching for years. Aside from Derek White, Porzingis was instrumental in helping the team secure the top seed and win in the first round, setting the tone in Game 1 of the finals. However, the Celtics have repeatedly demonstrated their exceptional skill, both during the regular season and playoffs, with or without Porzingis. For nearly half a decade, there's been ongoing speculation from NBA insiders and media that Boston should split up the two Jays and build around one. Many doubted whether Jaylen Brown deserved the Supermax deal, and even I understood the hesitation considering the hefty contract price. Yet, the key takeaway is clear. If you win a championship, it's all worth it. In today's NBA, teams often stick with a core group of players for 3 or 4 playoff runs. If they fail to win a championship, they typically dismantle the team and start a rebuild. The Celtics, however, took a different path. They persevered through 7 playoff runs with Tatum and Brown, striving to break through and finally win a championship. They didn't blow up the team or chase after the biggest names. Instead, they made strategic moves that aligned with their identity, demonstrating persistence and resilience. Despite media pressure to dismantle their core, the Celtics stayed the course and proved their approach could succeed. They've consistently been a strong team, often boasting some of the highest net ratings in the NBA. This year, they finally brought everything together and transformed into a formidable force. Think of the story of Sisyphus from Greek mythology, who was condemned to push a boulder up a hill for eternity, never reaching the top. The Celtics have faced similar struggles. They didn't quit when they couldn't reach the peak after the first few tries. They persevered year after year, despite setbacks and repeated failures. Success only requires everything to come together once, and the Celtics did everything in their power to be ready for that moment. They never let the boulder roll back down the hill, and now, they're celebrating with the championship trophy. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please like and subscribe, it really helps me out. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.